No, I did not know that, but now I'm learning. You know what the best part about wildfires is?
What?
It's that it smells like a barbecue.
I don't know. It depends on what's burning. Do, are you
Well, it's a wildfire, so usually it's,
is this you?
wilderness.
Is this you alluding to a massive
No,
barbecue in California?
no. We would have fires all the time in California. No big
Well,
deal.
I mean, not like this though.
Well, yes, just not in such a highly populated area. But there were times in high school where like you'd walk out of class and it smelled like a barbecue at noon on a Tuesday, and you're like, well, no one's having a barbecue at noon on a Tuesday, so there's a fire close by. And then you look up and you see the smoke, and you're like, oh, that's kind of close. And then you got to evacuate campus, and you don't have your football practice, and your stadium almost burns down, and then you go play a game on Saturday with horrible air quality and lose. Truth.
Well, they say that builds character. That's why Cali kids, they get a bad rep for being soft. I'd argue that you could say they're even tougher because they're fighting through carbon monoxide.
Yes, we all have smokers' lungs by the age of 10.
I want to shout out my friend Lily. She lives in LA and um she had to evacuate. She's safe now, but shout out Lily for getting to safety and her cat Soleil. Soleil is pretty dope. But shout out to Lily and everybody else in California. I hope everybody's okay.
True. Yeah, it's
Uh
crazy. Happy to be back though. It's been a couple
yeah,
weeks.
yeah, been a
I
while.
we had Kwanzaa, obviously,
Hey,
Hanukkah.
look, holidays and stuff, life happens, and
Yes.
we're not getting a big enough check yet to
But
not
you can change that, listener.
yes, if you're listening, you can help change that by, liking us on Spotify and YouTube and subscribing and liking our stuff on Instagram and following us on Instagram and Twitter. We have a TikTok, but I mean, I think TikTok, I think the Supreme Court is upholding the ban.
They are.
So, that's really unfortunate. So I wonder how that works. Like, does that mean like if I'm scrolling on Sunday or like on Saturday night and then like, it's 11:59, I'm scrolling, and then midnight hits, does the app just like crash?
So here's the caveat. Biden dog said he's not going to enforce it because it's his last day in office, and he doesn't want that to be the last thing he does. Fair. Um, he said this is Trump's problem. So on Monday, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. It all comes
Well,
down to the powers that be, the big dogs in the house.
Trump did invite the CEO of TikTok to his inauguration, which I wonder like what is he gonna say like you can't invite this guy and not acknowledge it. So I'm just really curious, what the hell is he going to say to the CEO of TikTok at his presidential inauguration? Like what could he like how do you in the, I'm not too well versed in inaugurations. I don't watch inaugurations. I watched like
They're so boring.
yeah, I watched like the first 20 minutes of Obama's first inauguration. That is about as far as the breadth of my knowledge of what goes into an inauguration goes. So I'm really wondering, because I know they're long. Like it's like the president just stroking himself for a very long amount of time. Like I like
Secaucus, New Jersey.
listen, we do broadcasts on TV that are, 2, maybe 3 hours. But at least there's something happening. I
True.
couldn't imagine standing and talking at people standing still. And like you're not doing comedy, so they're not laughing. I mean, I think you can make people laugh, but you're not up there to be a stand-up comedian.
But they're not actual comedic bits. It's just like, oh, serious guy made a funny joke, semi funny, so everyone laughs.
Yeah, so everyone laughs and
Right.
and like maybe he owes them money. Cough cough. But no, I'm really curious how he's going to somehow finagle like a TikTok feature into his inauguration speech because it's not an I mean it's technically not inaugural because he was president before, but
True.
into his inauguration speech, like, oh my God. Um, should we talk about basketball? Because
I
that's what
think we should. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mostly Major Show. We're back after a couple weeks off. We had some travel and holidays, celebratory events going on, and I had a ruptured right eardrum, so that was fun last week.
You
So I
ruptured your
was,
eardrum?
yeah, I just
I
woke
thought
up
you had
and
an infection.
yeah, it happened, and then the eardrum ruptured, so that was nice and fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
Lord.
awful pain. I've had my foot hanging off of my leg. Okay, I'm not gonna lie.
That is true.
This was up there with that pain, and there was no morphine or fentanyl to help me like they did in the hospital. So it's a little bit different.
Paw dogging, borderline foot hanging off the leg pain.
Yeah, except it was my ear. I honestly was thinking like, man, Vincent Van Gogh. Everyone thought he cut off his ear because he was going crazy and couldn't sell a painting. I think he cut it off because he had an ear infection and a ruptured eardrum. He was like, "This is
Uh,
awful."
you under,
Slice.
you understand him now? You
I
feel him?
do. I get it. Now I need to go paint something that's going to be famous in 2,000 years.
I
Doubtful.
Potential is there. Potential is there.
Yeah, we're back. It's good to be back,
Yeah,
Mister.
there's been a lot of really good basketball, particularly at the mid-major part of things because that's what we focus on. And
Did you see? Sorry to interrupt. Did you see High Point Longwood last night?
that was literally what I was just about to talk about.
Unbelievable.
I
Also,
can.
I don't know where Longwood is. I thought it was in Long Island, to be honest.
It's in like it's in like middle America, I'm pretty sure. Like somewhere
All right,
like
should we take guesses here?
Longwood. Honest, I had a someone from my high school went and played soccer at Longwood.
I'm gonna
Pause.
guess. I get,
Um,
it feels like a new school that I've never heard of before.
or actually no, I think it's on what conference are they in? Are they in the
Big South.
Big South? Oh, so no, they're Longwood. I think actually then they're not too far from here. I think they're around here. Because like I said, I had a someone from my high school went and played soccer there. I want to say they're in like one of the Carolinas or Virginia.
I'm gonna say Tennessee. Let's check.
Let's see.
Because High Point is in North Carolina, and that was a conference game. But also that tells us nothing because of what's happening in sport. Longwood University. Wow.
Um,
Farmville, Virginia.
Farmville, Virginia.
Of course.
Just what I expected.
I mean, on that note, like me thinking that it was in Long Island or wherever it could have been, honestly, it
Long
could have been
Island.
anywhere in the country because even at the Division III level, UC Santa Cruz is a D3 school, and they're in it's called the Coast to Coast Conference. It's a D3 conference. They just joined it, but they're in a conference with a bunch of schools in like Virginia and Maryland, like Salisbury and Christopher Newport, and teams in North Carolina. UC Santa Cruz, which is up near San Francisco, is playing all the way across the country. I don't know how that works, but that's your D3 update
Ask
of the day.
ask Stanford how they feel about playing, I don't know, what, Maryland?
Yeah, but they
Or
have D1 money.
they're not Maryland. Who would they play? Like
Miami,
Syracuse. Syracuse.
Syracuse, Boston College.
But that is true. They have D1 money, so but yeah,
Yeah, I don't
not
know about the banana
Ooh, that's
slugs.
terrible. That's not right. That doesn't seem fair.
No, that's crazy.
But game was sick. Colby Garland hit a game winner after a tie. So, I think it was what, 11 seconds left. Kid on high point made a three. Chase Johnston hits a three. It was sick. I watched most of the game.
Yeah.
And these are the two, I think the top two teams in the Big South. and or
Well, let's not erase UNC Asheville here. All right,
well, yeah,
they're in
well,
first place.
two of the top teams,
All right, all right.
and yeah, then Kobe Garland comes down, hits a game-winning jumper, and like, I mean, that game was sick. Um, Another game that was unbelievable, like I don't know, I guess yeah, they fall into because they're in the A10. Fordham, UMass. Did you see that game?
Yes, that was insane. Overtime at the oldest college basketball gym in the country.
But dude, the UMass Fordham game was so nutty. Triple OT. Um, there were over 100 free throws attempted. There was, I think, six or seven players fouled out. There was, yeah, a combined 79 fouls. 79 fouls. At one point, um, I think it was Fordham had to put in a walk-on who like hadn't played all year. Yeah, Fordham had to put in this uh walk-on for the last few minutes. Jamison O'Toole, he literally had to come in the game. He didn't register a stat except the foul. And UMass ends up winning. But I think like I feel like you would see the score and be like, oh, that was the game of the year. It was kind of terrible.
It was
Like
awful.
it was kind of terrible. There was insanely too many fouls. Like people think I'm joking because the new thing nowadays is to just trash the NBA and say how much the NBA sucks and blah 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 blah. But I have a theory. NBA players are so good now that there's so much like professional athletes have always been far away athletically, skill wise at what they do from the common person.
Right.
But college kids are much closer. Like there's college kids who start on like good programs who end up never playing pro. Like they'll become like Jerry Rice says, like they'll enter the workforce, right? And that's very real. So people watch March Madness and they see these, Division 1 athletes who end up becoming, teachers, and they say, I can relate to that. And they appreciate that more. They resonate with that more. And NBA players are so good and so they make so much money. They make way more money than they ever have. They're distant from reality. So people who appreciate them really appreciate them. People who maybe don't like basketball that much already have really kind of been like pushing out the NBA.
Yeah.
The thing that they cite as the reason why, oh, there's too many fouls, they stopped the game too much. But there's people who probably watched this game and thought it was awesome, but then will turn around and say, oh, the NBA sucks, blah, blah. I don't think calling a bunch of fouls is awesome. I don't even think that this game was awesome for like the story of it. Like just like if you watched it and you saw what happened, you'd be like, damn, like that was crazy. But like people love to complain about NBA refs and how many fouls they call. This is this isn't too far off from how college is officiated a lot of the time. I'm not saying every game has 79 fouls, but college refs, if you think NBA refs are bad or crazy, college refs are like 10,000 times worse. And my dad's a ref. He hates when I get on refs. My uncle Felix is a ref. He hates when I say, oh, college refs suck. He hates that because, oh, it's a hard job. I know it's a hard job. That doesn't mean you can just get to be like bad at it. You don't get to suck at your job because it's hard. Like college refs are terrible, and whoever these refs were, I hope they don't work for like a month. They should be suspended. 79 fouls. There's no way there were 79 fouls that happened in that game.
Should we say their names?
Uh,
I have them right here.
I see them on ESPN.
Yeah. Anyway, if you want to know who they are, you can go find out. They're no Kelly Pfeiffer, one of the greatest refs in college basketball, or Jeffrey Anderson.
Ah,
Yeah. A couple of things off of that. The Jerry Rice commercial that the NCAA used to play was the dumbest thing that I ever saw. And I was an athlete when it first came out. I was still playing, and my buddies and I were sitting on the couch watching some game, and Jerry Rice pops up on the TV, And he's like, hey, not everybody gets a shoe deal. Not everybody gets private jets. Not everybody signs a big contract. You can go pro in something other than sports. And then it flashes at the bottom of the screen. Bachelor of Arts, Mississippi Valley State University. Jerry Rice, my friend. The only art you ever created with that Bachelor of Arts from Mississippi Valley State was that commercial, because you went on to be the greatest wide receiver in NFL history. You don't need to tell us to not worry about going pro in sports. Can we get someone else? I mean, something like 75% of CEOs that are born in the United States are former college athletes. Like, these are people that we'd look up to. Put the CEO of whoever up there. Let us see them. Anyway, that's my NCAA thing. The other thing is Jamison O'Toole. If he doesn't get a pint of Guinness every time he goes to the bar, I don't know what he's doing. That's an incredible first and last name. That dude just screams Ireland. And he's from Pittsburgh.
There's obviously Jameson, the liquor, and there's
Yeah.
got to be a million O'Toole's beers around the world.
Yeah.
If he were to walk around Ireland, he should just walk around Ireland with a shirt that has his ESPN like profile on it. And I think he just gets whatever he wants. Like, that's just what it is.
Hi, I'm Jamison O'Toole. Need a pint of Guinness. Give me a shot of Jameson.
We do have another contribution from the fam.
Friend of the program, E40, known Bay Area rapper. He texted me on Wednesday night and said on ESPN they just showed photos of Kansas versus Iowa State in 1957. Nice, clear photos of the game action and the crowd on the floor after Iowa State won, which is nice to see that they were still rushing the court, back in the 50s. By the way, Kansas's Wilt Chamberlain was playing in that game. There were photographs. So
I mean, one of these days, I really want Adam Silver to find this. I don't know how we're gonna make that happen, but I really, really, really want Adam Silver to discover this podcast because I have questions. I really have questions. I just want to know, how have we gone this long? Like I need like are we the crazy ones? Are
no,
we out of pocket for thinking someone might be lying, you know? Are we wrong?
no, and here's the problem. Everybody just blindly believes it. It's such a round number too, 100. Like if he scored 97, I think people would be like, oh, I don't know, it doesn't resonate as well. But 100, you get the little 100 emoji that's, based off of that. Like, yeah, I don't think we're in the wrong, but I almost feel like an alien chaser person who people are looking at kind of sideways because they're like, why do you think aliens exist? Well, I don't know. They must have taken all the cameras from the people in Hershey Park.
I just don't get it. Like, there's just because you would think why we have videos of Babe Ruth hitting homers and swinging a bat, Mickey Mantle, Lou Gehrig, and those guys played before black people could play baseball, right? But you mean to tell me that one of the most if somebody scored 100 points tonight, that is massive headline for the next month.
Yeah.
This guy scored 100 points. And they'll have to start doing comparison. And of course, because the propaganda machine has to perpetuate the idea that Wilt Chamberlain actually did score 100 points, someone's gonna start coming up with a long feature story, and they're gonna try to find people who played with Wilt and talked about how is there are there any teammates that can come out and say this really happened? You know what I mean? There has to
They
be.
should still be alive, right? Like we are 63 years now since it happened. That there should still be people that were at the game that are still alive, that were the ball boys at the game, that were giving the guys a Gatorade bottle after a bucket, Like, I don't know. There were people there that are still alive. Where are they now? I don't hear them. They're quiet.
So
Are
I'm
they all
on.
dead? And if they are all dead, then I have some questions for the CIA. I don't know. Like, who's trying to cover this up?
So I'm on Basketball Network, and one of Wilt's teammates was actually tight at him because first of all, and you know what's an underrated aspect of this bit? He did that against the Knicks, which just like, just to add insult to fake injury, like he did it against the Knicks. So that really amplifies the lore behind my questioning of this game. But Al Addles said he didn't miss a shot. He was 8 for 8 from the field. He had 17 points in 34 minutes. After the game, he told Wilt, blah, blah. See, like Guy Rogers had 20 assists. Like, I don't know. I need video evidence. This written word nonsense, like we're in the age of like proof, you know? Like I need evidence.
It's a
I don't,
problem, and I don't fully understand it. Um, Look, we have evidence that certain things happened in the 1700s, in the 1600s, and the 1400s. Why don't we have proof that this happened 60 years ago?
yeah.
I have so many issues with this, but what
You
can
know
I
what I
do? I'm
don't
just a guy.
you know what I don't have an issue with is the Summit League. Well, sort of. But we have to we can't go an episode without talking about our favorite conference, right?
True.
Um, can we talk about our friend of the program, Johnny T,
Absolutely.
and what he's got cooking over there?
Unbelievable.
I mean, undefeated to start league play, 4-0. And then arguably the surprise, and I say surprise because I mean there's no way. I mean, we were making jokes about who Omaha was playing in non-conference.
Yeah.
Like, couldn't believe it. And now they're 5-0 in the Summit League. Like, yeah, everyone's preseason favorite, Omaha, leading the league at the turn of the new year. Like, I don't I don't know what's going on over there, but this two-team race between the Tommies and the Mavs, is it about to be special, or do the Mavs come back down to earth?
I think the Mavs come back down to earth, but I will say Markel Sutton is hooping. All right, he's making some money out there, and he may be the next guy to go from the Omaha program. Obviously, Frankie Fiddler, who had a big game the other night on national TV for Michigan State, is the first kind of trailblazer guy. I mean, he dipped after having what, a 25-8 season last year or something in Summit League play. Ridiculous stuff. 33 points in a conference tournament game. So they got some guys. Chris Crutchfield, he's slowly getting this program turned to where he needs it to be. Because man, 2 years ago when he took over that program, oh my goodness. And Frankie Fiddler was like their guy at the time, but he just wasn't there yet. He wasn't ready for those moments, right? You know the meme, the lights were too bright. Yeah. So that was that. But he had that confidence and he wore that on his sleeve. And then he came back last year and they had some extra pieces that they had added. And, they were able to make a little bit of a run. Obviously, had that incredible game against North Dakota in the tournament. And then, yeah, now, I mean, yes, their non conference schedule was ridiculous. They didn't play anybody in a bad way. Yes. They didn't play anyone. I mean, okay, they played Minnesota, they played UNLV. That's about it, though. everybody else was like, okay, Iowa State too, but yeah, it just came out of nowhere that they're now all of a sudden 5-0 in
Okay, well,
conference play.
they weren't playing many people, but they were losing a lot.
They were losing a lot.
They were not great record
They were
wise.
struggling.
I mean, you think about since conference play, they're 5-0 in conference play, and their record is currently 11-9. So you subtract 5 wins, that means they were 6-9
True.
going into, you know what I mean? So
True.
they were sorry, but that means that they were a underperforming team going into the start of conference play. And now they're on fire.
And they play St. Thomas at home next Thursday.
That is appointment TV.
Yes. I wonder if that is televised.
I doubt it. Because they don't flex it like they plan it beforehand.
True.
Because like I said, I think our good buddy at the Summit League um kind of takes a look at the preseason poll and then goes from there as far as who you want to schedule. Or maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But um I don't think anyone was thinking, especially after Frankie transferred, they definitely weren't like, oh, we should put Omaha.
Well,
Uh
Omaha did get a national TV game. They hosted Kansas City, and I think that was supposed to be a much better game for Kansas City than it actually was. And unfortunately, Kansas City is not off to a great start.
yeah, they were the excuse
They were
me,
the preseason #1
the
team.
favorites.
Yep.
Like how do how
They were like number 11 in the mid-major poll. They were up there. So they've faded.
yeah, badly. And I mean, obviously we support the Summit League just by association. But I mean, 2-2. Now it's only been 4 games, but they're two
True.
and two through their first four. They can get hot though. I mean, we saw last year, look at how UND, I mean, they got hot. Um, Omaha started hot,
Yeah.
kind of faded. Um, uh, Denver started off slow, then kind of got hot but then that double overtime game
Yeah.
kind of sapped a lot of life out of them. I think maybe more than we anticipated, and
Yeah.
they kind of fell off at the end. So we've seen in the Summit League like
But Denver did get to the Summit League title game. Let's not forget that either.
that did happen.
So,
That did
yes.
happen.
Well, yeah, and I think that's the most fascinating part about college basketball, especially conferences of this size, is that you're going to play everybody twice. And so what that does is it adds an air of parity to what goes on across the league. And I was looking back actually to some of our episodes from last year when we were going through the Summit League season. And this time in the Summit League season, like North Dakota had won a couple of games. And we were like, okay, all right, maybe. South Dakota State was obviously hot. And, Omaha started hot. And then there were some other teams that we were like, at any point in this league schedule, there was one episode where we made this a focal point. We were like, if you go 2-0 one week, it could turn your entire season around because all of a sudden you go from seventh place to second place in the
Yeah,
league.
everyone was so clustered up.
Right? There were 7 teams that were within 2.5 games of each other last year on the men's side. That was like you get that in conferences of this size, so there's almost an advantage. I know the Big Ten and the Big 12 and the SEC with their 18 teams and everything. That's fantastic. The problem is maybe you have to go on the road one time, right? Like Syracuse goes
Yeah,
to
you don't
Boston
play
College
everyone
once or
twice.
whatever. Like you don't get that opportunity for redemption at the crib or to steal one on the road, things like that. So yeah, it's been interesting so far to start the season, but it's only halfway through January.
We are very early into conference play. It's only been a couple of
It's
weeks since
it, it's not even the witching hour, my friend.
one of our favorite do we I guess technically one of our favorite mid majors or one of our favorite schools who we never dove deeper into what they have going on. But I just very bad segue into Temple beat Memphis last night. And it just like I saw that because I didn't watch the game, but I saw that and I just got to thinking about the point shaving stuff.
I
Because
forgot about that.
have we ever gotten to the bottom of that? Like what
Wow.
whatever
We may
happened?
need to we may need to do a full deep dive episode next week on that because that's ridiculous. And that was a Temple team that won like 8 games that year or something. They were losing by an average of 20. Like they were really bad because that was 2 years ago, I believe.
Yeah, they had a bunch of Jonte Porters on that team. The Jonte Porter stuff is getting crazy. Did you see any of the documents that came out from that?
I have not, no.
There's like he was mid-game. Like he like got hit in the eye and he went back into the the locker room or the trainer's room or whatever. And he was typing in his Discord. Like he was messaging people in his Discord like, yeah, I just got hit in the eye. I just got poked in the eye. I don't think I'm coming back in. But if I do, I'm shooting a million shots. Like he was literally mid-game texting on his phone, which is like now I have heard about like I don't know if you heard about the story about Ish Smith. Like he
Yes,
wouldn't like sometimes he wouldn't come out of the tunnel to start the game. Like he'll watch the game on TV to start, and then he'll come out around the time where he's like, okay, I'm about to go in. Like I
that's
don't know.
crazy.
I don't know how got athletes are weird. High level
Brother,
athletes are strange.
I I feel bad for Michael Porter because that family, his brothers do not help his case. And I like,
But he doesn't help his own case though.
well, Michael Porter, he's fine. He keeps it between the navigational buoys. But the NBA two-way player salary is $550,000. How bad are you starving for bread that you need to bet against yourself point totals or threes made or whatever?
I mean, I
If
will
it,
say this,
I understand Toronto's an expensive place to live,
right?
but you're making bread. Okay.
All I'm saying is, I might be making 550,000, but I know if I know a way to double it, who am I? Who am I not to? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he was right. I'm not saying he was right. All I'm saying is, I understand. I get it.
True.
I get it. Now he's gonna go to prison. This is illegal,
True.
right? But I'm not saying I don't get it.
But he's going to have money in prison, so he could buy like snacks and cell phones and
I
stuff.
mean, didn't Michael get his second contract?
Yeah, Michael's taken care of. He's making 100
Yeah.
mil or something.
So I'm sure there's some now. I mean,
But his other brother is also in prison because a
oh
couple of
yeah,
years
did
ago
he
when he
like
was
kill
playing
someone?
basketball at the University of Denver, he got a DUI and hit someone and killed them.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. No. Michael Porter, just keep hooping, man. You're doing good.
Yeah. Don't ever go back on Lana Rhodes' podcast. Or no, he has his own podcast, and he had Lana Rhodes as a
He
guest.
had her on there.
You see what I'm saying? Like he's not he at least he's not in the streets, but he's not doing much.
He's
Like
not doing illegal stuff
he's
that we know
crazy on
of.
his own. He's crazy on his own. Um,
That's why they say shut up and dribble, right?
that is why they say shut up and dribble. Like, hey, look, jackass. Let's avoid disaster. Like you'll be much better off hooping and shutting the hell up. And whoever said that, who was that? Ann Coulter?
I don't even know. It was like someone on
Megan,
Fox News or something.
Ash, something Graham, me, I don't know, but whoever said that, I'm kidding. But big week coming up for you and I. We got a big week. So um
We're going to record a podcast in person.
yeah, we are recording this on January the 8th or the 17th. That's a Friday. And um or is it? Yeah, January 17th, it's Friday.
Yeah.
This time next week, well, really, even 2 days before that, myself and our good brother Joe Trentley, another friend of the program, will be in Denver preparing to ship up there from there to Breckenridge for a little weekend getaway in the mountains.
Yeah,
Very
if you see
excited
us on the
about that.
slopes, say hi. We're
Yeah. If you watch the show or listen, feel free to say hi. We know there's so many people who will be trying to get a hold of us, so we'll try our best to get to everyone. We
it's tough.
listen,
You
but
gotta call us on the bat phone, you know.
yeah, but yeah, I just have to say it out loud. I'm really excited. Like the closer it gets, the more I'm like, hell yeah, like it's almost time. Because I haven't skied since the middle of the summer when I went to Big Snow. So,
Can you provide some context? Because for people listening, they think, oh, skiing in the summer.
oh, so in New Jersey, there's a really like a really big mall. Not I don't think it's as big as Mall of America. I think Mall of America is still the biggest, but I want to say maybe 5, 6 years ago or so, maybe a little more than that. They built a huge mall, like because it used to be Jersey Gardens Mall. They knocked that down and they built an even bigger mall in North Jersey, in Secaucus, essentially. And inside this mall, which is like I can't undersell just how big it is. Like it's really huge. There's like 7 parking lots. It's really big. Inside the mall, on the second floor in C wing, the C wing of the mall, there's a indoor snow facility with real snow, and it's actually cold in there, and you can ski. There's like one like hill essentially, and there's one section, there's like a magic carpet that they take you up, and it's next to these two tubing lanes, so you can go tubing. Next to the tubing lanes, there's these fenced off turned like this like small little like I wouldn't even call it a green. It's just like definition of like beginner hill where there's like literally it's in the shape of an S with like these gates, and it helps people like so they can practice their turning, right? And then next to that, there's like the big mountain, which like I think the top of it they say is like equivalent to like a blue, but then the bottom half like it gets flat and then you
Yeah.
finish. And then next to that is the freestyle park where they've got, moguls and jumps and stuff like that. That's inside of a mall. So my niece was here. Now I'd been there a few times prior to this, but my niece was here in July and I took her because she wanted to do something fun. So I was like, well, we can do that. So the last time I went skiing, the last time I was on my skis was in July, the middle of July in American Dream at Big Snow, which is great. Shout out to my ski instructor. I'm forgetting his name. I think it was Parker. Shout out to Parker for giving me a ski lesson on my birthday. That was great. That was really
Yeah,
cool. He taught,
shout out Parker.
and
Parker House,
yeah,
Jersey.
and I've been really excited for this trip because I've been wanting to go skiing ever since that lesson on an actual mountain because indoor is cool. I've been to big snow like 3 or 4 times, but like actually going to a mountain, I'm really looking forward to that to see like, am I better or am I as good as I think I am? Because I think like I mean I go down that mountain at Big Snow with relative ease. I don't fall. Like because if I were to try to do it, the first time I went when I was in Salt Lake City, it would be a disaster. It would take me
Yeah.
forever to get down there. But now I think I can do a pretty good job. I think I really want to try a decent blue and see what I can do. I am going on Sunday, like I said at the top of the show. I'm going on Sunday to Mountain Creek, and I think it's fully open because there was only like a few trails that were open, but I think last week or a couple weeks ago they like fully open because their opening day was in December.
Yeah.
Now it's like 100% open. There's a bunch of trails, and I got the Twilight Pass, so I'm gonna be missing part of Bills Rams, I think, but or Bills Ravens, but it'll be worth it because I need to practice. I can't go to Breckenridge rusty.
Well, I'll put this in mid-major basketball terms. This is like St. Thomas jumping from Division 3 to Division 1.
Oh,
So Just be
Yeah.
ready for that.
And trying to get early eligibility for the NCAA tournament.
Well, they did get it stepped up a bit. It was, so we were wrong. We initially thought that they were going to be eligible next year. They were going to be eligible starting in the 2026-27 season. So now the NCAA just moved it up for everybody 1 year, which is nice, as it should be.
Yeah.
So now St. Thomas will be eligible next season, which is unfortunate because they're going to win the Summit this year. I
Well,
tweeted it out, ruffled some feathers. I stand by my read. Yeah. So, yes, next week is going to be fantastic. We're going to have a ton of fun. We're also going to record some stuff in person, unlike the last couple of times we've been together. But you know what we should do is we should get our friend from the American Athletic Association or the American Athletic Conference on the show. Maria Tribalpiece, reporter for the AAC.
I don't hate that idea.
Let her talk about Paul Mills.
Paul Mills, she can talk about the Patriot League while she was there.
True.
Um she can talk about Temple.
She could talk about Temple.
Are they there?
They're in the American.
Yeah, she can talk about Temple. We can get some real insider trading going out there. Little investigative reporting.
We will. Last thing that I want to talk about on this very good Friday, halfway through the month of January, and 2 days away from the 2-month anniversary of the last time the Green Bay Phoenix won a basketball game.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I really wanted to try and get through this episode and not make fun of Doug Gottlieb, but now that you brought it up,
Darron, they're 0-7 in the horizon. They're in last place. Their last win was against Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville,
they're worse than they were last year
with a new coach.
with a new coach. 0-7, they haven't won a game. Detroit Mercy, who was terrible every year. Even Detroit Mercy's won a couple conference games. This Doug got like I am honestly, this couldn't have happened to a better candidate for this to happen to. Doug Gottlieb has been trashing coaches and players for years. And I get it, but there's a difference between the way he does it and the way that actual high quality professional journalists do their job. Doug Gottlieb thinks he's the smartest guy in the room in every room he goes to, and he's probably smarter than a lot of people. He might even be a little smarter than me when it comes to basketball. I doubt it, but he might be. But I know one thing. He right now, as a head coach, is 0-7 in his conference, hasn't won a game, lost to a Division II school that like he made fun of, lost to a Division II school as a Division I program, a head coach of a Division I program, and in the middle of the season tried to bring over some professional basketball player from Israel, and what has he done? Absolutely nothing. That guy sucks. He averages like 4 points a game. Doug Gottlieb, this is what you get. You reap what you sow. He thinks he's better than everyone. He's always saying, this guy's terrible. This guy can't do. And he's a huge anti-LeBron. I have a theory. Anti-LeBron people get their just due more than others, right? And Doug Gottlieb is one of those people, and now his team sucks. They're garbage. And I'm honestly a little satisfied to see it because Doug Gottlieb is no, you can't, and he's still doing the bit. He's still doing the I can coach and be a host of a show thing. It doesn't work that way.
He was tweeting out like trade rumors, NFL stuff, 2 hours before tip-off of a basketball game that he was coaching, which they lost, by the way. I will say this. I will say this. Doug Gottlieb, you have one good win, one of your two, and it's against SIUE, Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville, who is the second place team in the Ohio Valley Conference. And they beat them by like 26 points. But that's it. That was the last time. Darron, that was before Thanksgiving. That was before the yams were on the table, man. The yams weren't even on the table.
They beat the hell out of
The turkey was still frozen.
Um, yeah,
It started as a bit. It started
Doug
as a
Gottlieb
bit
gets a
bias.
big doom.
It started started as a bit bias, but now it's gone too far. Look, you're endangering the public, and by the public, I'm talking about the players on your roster.
Yeah, he's making their lives worse. You got to
I've
be a
been
coach,
on
Doug. You got to make a decision. You want to be a coach or do you want to be a reporter? Pick a side.
I've been on a bad team once or twice in my college career. It's not fun when you look up and you're like, "Wow, we have one win." I could not imagine that. It's January 17th. They have
Oh, the
two
players are
wins.
checked out. There's no
Two
way they're
wins.
checked out. You're in Green Bay. It's cold, like really, really cold. Lake effect snow.
Yeah.
The Packers just the Packers aren't even good.
Yeah.
2 hours from Milwaukee, and there's so much snow on the ground that you can't even get there. Mesa Biomes, Fathead isn't in the bar that you frequent on Saturdays after you've lost to IUPUI. So, what is there? What do you have going on for yourself? You're in the middle of Wisconsin. You're not. You're too far to go to Door County, and it's too cold for down Door County to even be fun.
True.
So, like, what do you do? They're checked out.
Yeah.
Tough.
You hate to see it.
In the
I will
spirit,
say they're selling flex plans for basketball. Oh,
in the spirit of next week, I've been just wearing these every day to feel something.
yeah. I love looking up and just seeing your leg.
We also saw my calves
I did. It's all a part of the leg. They have 10 game ticket plans at Green Bay
at Green
now.
Bay.
Yeah.
What are they, $5?
No. $10 per game.
Oh, that was close. Oh, per game, that's a ripoff.
It's a ripoff. Yes. They want you to pay $90 to to
To
go
watch a
or a
2 game
hundred
basketball.
bucks. It's bad math. It's ridiculous. Well, they play Robert Morris tonight, so Godspeed to them.
I
But
wonder
they
how.
do have a really good basketball player in Anthony Roy, so I will say that. He's averaging 25 a game. I don't know if he's still playing though.
Hey, if you look just on the flip side, um, and I'm pretty sure Doug Gottlieb is kind of one of those I won't say anti-women sports guys, but he's, definitely made some controversial statements regarding women's basketball. You want to know what the Green Bay women's basketball team's record is? 14-5. And you know who their head coach is? My good friend Kayla Carius. So shout out Kayla Carius and the Green Bay women for
Yep.
being actually good compared to Doug Gottlieb.
Hey, you want to know something fun about Kayla Karius' career?
Yes.
Her last game in college, I believe, was in the Sweet 16 because she played at Green Bay, which is why she went back there, going back home. Obviously, had success at South Dakota, but wanted to go back home. Her last game, she had to guard Brittany Griner. Kayla Karius is not 6'10", so
He's
she
barely
said it
six.
was tough.
He's tall. She is very tall.
So, guarding
She
Brittany
might be
Griner,
6 foot even.
yeah, that's got to be tough.
I miss her. She was a great interview. She was fun
Yes.
to talk to. And they're beating the hell out of people. Like
Yeah, they
I
are.
the Horizon is it the Horizon League?
Yeah, Horizon.
No, the Horizon League isn't like the greatest conference on the men or women's side, but I mean 70-47 over Detroit Mercy, 78-48 over Robert Morris, 69-51 Wright State. Like they're hammering people.
They're putting in work.
Yeah,
Respect.
shout out KK.
Hey, your experience watching Rutgers not play well against University of Southern California. Can you talk about that? Juju Hive president?
Oh, wow. Can we
Yeah.
say that? I would like to I would like to devote more time to that.
Okay. We'll put that on the docket for next week.
We'll be more removed from it, but I definitely would like to give that segment proper proper appreciation. because
True.
that was a special night, myself and my mother.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome that you went.
I should have
And
got a press pass. I didn't think to, but it was very last second. Like I was looking that day, and I was, watching some football and a few adult bevs deep,
fair.
and yeah, like because the 1 o'clock slate ended, and I'm like, well, what else is going on? And it was like that weird week before week 18 where there was like no 4 o'clock games.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, what else is on TV? And I saw Rutgers was playing USC. I'm like, wait, I can go to that game. I'm right there.
Oh, I'm not in South Dakota anymore. Yeah, incredible. USC wins by 55 or whatever it was.
Yeah, Rutgers is terrible. And Kill Me McMillan didn't play.
Yeah,
That
what happened there? There was a whole issue. She posted on Instagram that
I think some locker room thing. It was yeah, I'll deeper dive. Deeper
yeah,
dive.
we'll get into that. Next week we're gonna have a fun guest. With the departure of TikTok, inshallah it does not go because this man is unbelievable on that website. I mean, he should be the sole reason why we keep it. He plays college basketball 2K8, which I believe is the last college basketball game to come out.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
That was the last one. The 2K8 was
Okay.
the last
He plays 2K8 in a full suit.
one.
Dude, 2K8 was awesome. All right, Bill Raftery was on there. Like they had the whole squad.
Yeah.
Incredible stuff.
He runs like, through the dynasty, recruiting. Like he's got like the game was ahead of its time, really, because like they were really like in depth on the and mind you, basketball recruiting is much different than football. But
Yeah,
like, now you've got, college football 25 and that recruiting thing. But 2K kind of had a good handle on it as far as like actually building up your team and recruiting and stuff.
yeah,
And I mean, he's on it. Like he was, and he really gets into it. The people interact in this in his stream chats. Like the people love it. Like I watch him and I'll
yeah,
talk to him. He's awesome, and he plays a bunch of games. But lately he's been like really grinding on the college hoops 2K8,
yeah.
and he's incredible.
Dude, 2K8 is awesome. I got it years ago when I was a kid, and we had a PlayStation 2, and my dad, E40, started playing it. Just picked it up, and he was like, "Oh, this is kind of fun. Oh, let me start a career." And so he started a career, and he was UC Davis's head coach for a long time. Won 3 national titles there, I believe, and then went to Alcorn State and won like 4 chips there, and then hung it up. So
That's
I've seen that side of it. Like he would make my mom sit down and be like, "Come on, we got to play against UC Irvine or something."
hey, mom's a real one. That's what it's all about. You support
We
your
got a big one tonight.
you support your man in his endeavors. See, there's bags, and then there's real ones, and your mom's the real one.
True.
Your dad's talking about, honey, I got a game against Ohio State in the Sweet 16, and I'm Alcorn State. She said, no, we have a game against Ohio State.
I'm not even lying. That's exactly how it went down. All those conversations. So yes, that's going to be a fun one next week, and then maybe we'll have some other stuff because we'll be together for a few days, so we can put out some content and stuff.
Yeah, I'll be vlogging. I actually want to make like a trip vlog, so
Yeah,
my phone will be out a lot, and I'll be on my influencer. I'll be in my influencer bag.
true. We'll post on TikTok, unless. All right. Anything else?
I'm good.
I'm good. All right. Yeah. Sponsor us because it's the
Somebody.
right thing to do.
It's the right.
All right. Farewell. We'll see you next week. We're getting back on the schedule. Conference games are rolling. Goodbye.